Hello everybody, welcome to Chikara Yoga with Jen. It's going to be a 45-minute practice today, and it's going to be based on some moves to help us get stronger. So we're going to do some strength-based moves. All of them can be done at different levels of intensity, different levels of engagement. So take it at your own pace, move in ways that feel good to you, and we'll start there. We're going to start standing today, and we're going to find a nice tall mountain pose. We'll start to root down through the feet here, rising up through the top of the head, letting shoulders relax down, closing the eyes if we feel comfortable here, and start to feel the breath move. Inhaling and exhaling. Just wiggle the fingers, rotate the wrists, maybe pedal down through the feet a little bit. Make sure we've got a good connection all the way through our bodies here. And breathe in through the nose, feeling the breath travel down the back of the throat, expanding the chest, filling the belly on the inhale. Exhale, releasing, but connecting with the body here. Taking a couple more breaths here. As we come into the present moment, one more deep breath here, and then we'll open the eyes, begin to move. On the next inhale, sweeping the arms wide, reach tall. Exhale, swan dive down, hinging at the hips. Come to a nice forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. Lengthen out through the top of the head, exhaling, forward fold. Softening the knees, reverse swan dive up. Exhaling, chair, circle the arms, hips go back. Inhaling, lift. Swan dive down. Half lift, lengthen. Forward fold. Reverse. And chair. Continuing with chair flow here. Warming up the body, following the breath. Start to feel the movement through the shoulders, feel the engagement through the belly as we sit the hips back into chair. Feel the lengthening through the back of the body. Really connect with the breath here. We'll find ourselves in our chair here. Hips back, belly button pulled in, lengthening out through the arms, engaging through the backs of the shoulders, the core, still breathing. Maybe take a little pulse. You can always take the hands to heart center if the shoulders get fatigued. But if the arms are up, try to have them out of your peripheral view here. Really strengthen the back of the shoulders. On the next inhale, we're going to lift the hips. Exhale, swan dive down. We'll take a big step back with the right foot. Find our high lunge here with or without blocks. The key here for determining whether blocks are good is if without the blocks you end up rounding through the shoulders to reach the floor, the blocks help us keep in better alignment here. On the next inhale, open, twist towards the bent knee, reach tall, and we're going to flow the back knee down and up. Left hand sweeps down. Stepping to the top, reverse swan dive up. Exhaling, chair. Inhaling, lift. Swan dive down. Left foot stepping back. Lengthen here, reach out through the top of the head. On the next inhale, twist towards the bent knee. Open the heart, reach tall, pull back with that right shoulder. Flow the back knee down and up. Right hand sweeps down, step to the top, reverse, and chair. Following the breath here, swan dive down. Right foot back. Twisting left, we flow the back knee. Left hand down, step to the top. All the way up. Chair. Second side. Left foot back. Right arm up. Flow the knee. Right hand all the way. And share. One more time on each side, then we're going to add on. Right foot back. Twisting left. Flow the knee. Reverse. Chair. Lift. And fold. Left foot back. Twisting right. Flow the knee. Right hand down, stepping up. Reverse. Chair. Inhale, lift, adding on here. Swan dive down, right foot back. Twisting to the left. Flow the knee. And then we're going to press into the front foot, rising up here to our twisted high lunge. Take a full breath here. Stabilizing through the legs, the hips. And cartwheel the hands back down. Stepping up, reverse. And chair. Lift. Fold. Left foot back, twisting right. Flow the back knee. And then press into the front foot, rising up, twisted high lunge. Try to keep the gaze out to the side, fingertips reaching out in opposite directions. Cartwheel back down, stepping up, reverse, chair. One more time with twisted high lunge. Right foot back, twist left, flow the knee, press into the front foot, rising up here. Find our balance. Pull everything towards the midline of the body. Cartwheel back down, stepping forward, reverse, chair. Inhale, lift, swan dive down. Second side, left foot back, twisting right. We flow the knee, press into the front foot, rising up. Find our breath, find our balance. Engage through the legs, the core. Pull everything to the midline. Windmill the hands back down, we'll drop down to the back knee. Right knee comes down. We can set the blocks off to the side. Take a moment here, finding all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Deep breath in and out. Press the floor away. Inhale. Drop the belly, lift head and tailbone. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cat. Exhaling, cat. Flowing here. One more. Waking up the spine here, opening the front on the inhale, broadening and opening the back on the exhale. Back to neutral, we'll sit back to child's, reaching arms forward. Spread the fingers wide. Lengthening here through the whole body, through the whole torso. Out through the top of the head, back through the tailbone. Inhale here, feel the back of the body expand. On the exhale, walk the hands to the left. Press hips away to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands walk to the right, hips press left. Back to center here. Deep breath in. And then shift the weight forward. Coming to our kneeling plank. Wrists stacked under shoulders. Belly drops here, engaging through the core. Sorry, hips drop here, engaging through the core. Tuck the tailbone under, reach out through the top of the head. Take a small little push up here, elbows hugged in tight. Inhale, press the floor away. Exhale, back to child's. Inhaling forward. Exhale, lower halfway, elbows hugged in tight. Inhale, press. Exhaling back. Flowing with the breath. The beginning of our chaturanga flow here. Warming it up. Child's to kneeling plank. Push up. Back to child's. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale lower. Inhale press. Exhale back. Adding on here, we're going to inhale forward. Exhale, lowering all the way to the ground. Chest touches down first, then belly. Lengthen out through the top of the head. Pull the shoulders back. Lift the heart. Baby cobra. Exhale, release. Engage through the belly. Lift the hips. Press back to child's. Modified chaturanga flow here. Inhale. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, lengthen. Lift. Exhale, release. Engage the core, press. Back to child's. Continuing here. Inhale. And exhale. Lengthen, lift. Release. Engage, press back. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Lengthen, lift, and lower. Engage belly, lift, hips back. Inhale forward, we're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, hips go up and back. Downward facing dog here, pedaling the feet, planting through the hands. Trying to keep the head between the biceps, pressing the floor away through the palms. Nice and strong through the shoulders. We'll come up to the balls of the feet, stretching the arches. Exhaling, heels go back towards the floor. Inhale, lift. Lifting hips up and back. Exhaling, heels towards the floor. One more time. Inhale, stretching arches, spreading toes. Exhale, heels towards the floor. On the next inhale, shift the weight forward, tuck the tailbone under, flowing forward here to full plank. Press the floor away through the arms. Strengthening through pecs, tuck that tailbone under, engage through the core. We're going to roll onto the toes here, dropping the knees but keeping the hips at the same height, bear pose. Press back through the heels, lengthen to plank. Again, knees drop down, onto the toes here, bear pose. Press back, straightening the legs. One more time. Knees drop to bear. And press back. Drop down onto that right knee and roll open here to a modified side plank. We have our right hand, right knee, and left heel all in one long line. Now I want you to press the hips forward, opening through the heart, keeping one hip stacked on top of the other and one shoulder stacked on top of the other. Reach tall through that left hand, lengthening out through the top of the head. Squeeze the outer hip, lift the leg here. Find some stability, flex that left foot. Squeeze that outer hip. And then we're going to keep that knee high but bend it. Heel goes back towards the glute. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale, lower back to the floor. Inhale, come up to center. Lengthen through the right side. Exhaling, half gate. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lowering. Side plank, leg lift. Knee bend. Extend. And lower. Inhaling up. Lengthen. Exhaling, half gate. Have the head turn to look at the upward arm. This will keep the neck moving as well. Leg lift, knee bend. Following the breath here. Inhale, center. Exhaling, half gate. Again, lift and lower. Slow it down. Leg lift, knee bend. Extend and then holding here. Really squeeze that hip, lift the heel. Keep the leg nice and long. Feel engagement around this whole outside of the left hip, all the way back to the left glute. One more breath here, maybe take a little pulse. Take a knee bend once again, and then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Inhaling up, lengthen through the right. Exhale, arch left. Inhale. And lower back down. We're going to take a little stretch here. We're going to drag that left foot to the back of the mat. Press the hips forward. Open the heart. Turn the gaze down towards that right hand. And breathe here. We're opening the chest. Opening the front of the left hip. One more breath. Bring everything back to center. Lift up. And then exhale, knees come underneath, hands to heart center. We'll take a moment here. Find our kneeling mountain pose. Hips stacked over knees, shoulders over hips. Inhale, sweep the arms wide. Exhale, hands to the low back. Fists on either side of the sacrum. We're going to tuck the tailbone under, engage the glutes, engage the core, lift the heart. Coming to a modified camel here. And then gently back to neutral. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this a little different view here. Inhaling up. Exhale, hands to the low back. Tuck that tailbone under. Engage low belly and glutes, stabilizing and lengthening the low back as we lift the heart. Shoulders drop down and together. Pressing hips forward, opening the front of the body without collapsing into the back. Still breathing. And then inhale back to neutral. Take a little counter pose. We're going to drop down, tap the hips to the heels, come right back up, big squeeze in the glutes. Drop down and up. Take some kneeling squats here, just stretching out through the quads and the knees, re-engaging the muscles around the SI joint. One more here. And back up. And I'll turn back to face you. We're going to kickstand the right foot out. We're going to move into modified side plank on this side. Again, we want right heel, hips, left knee, and left hand all in the same line. Once we get here, open that chest. Reach tall through the right fingertips. Strengthen the back of that right shoulder. Pressing hips forward here to keep hips open to the front. On the next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg. Flexing that foot, pull the toes towards the shin. Try to lift that leg up to hip height. We're going to pull the knee to the glute, heel to the glute. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, coming up to center. Lengthen through the left hand and arch to half gate. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Leg lift. Knee bend. Extend. And lower, following the breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, lengthen and fold. Inhale. And exhale, slow down the hand coming down. Try not to work with momentum or gravity. Try to have the muscles do the work here. Inhaling up, lengthen, and arch. Try to keep the chest open as we go to the side. One more half gate. And back to center here. We're going to drop back down to our side plank. Leg lift and hold here. Really squeezing that outer right hip. Feel engagement all around this whole connective tissue at the top of the hip, top of the thigh, from front to back. Maybe take a few pulses. And then let that right foot come down. We're going to take a little counter pose here, drag the foot behind. Press hips forward, open the heart, turn the gaze down towards the left hand. Breathing here, letting gravity help open the chest by pulling that right shoulder back. Continue to stay long here and nice and strong through the standing shoulder. One more breath. We'll come back to neutral. Inhaling up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, modified camel. Hands to the low back, tuck the tailbone under, lift the heart. If you have a deeper version of this camel in your practice, feel free to take it there. You can tuck the toes. Or maybe reach for the heels. Try to keep the hips stacked over the knees and try not to just drop into the low back. Try to keep some control here in the belly. Inhaling up to center. Untuck the toes if they're tucked and take a couple kneeling squats, counter pose here. Come right back up, tuck tailbone under and squeeze. Drop down, up, again. One more. And shake out the tension. We're going to step forward with the right foot. Right angles at the ankle, knee, and hip. Nice and tall through the top of the head. Tucking the back toes here. Press into the floor. Lifting up to high lunge. I'm going to lengthen out my high lunge here, but keep that right knee stacked over the right ankle and the back heel stacked over the foot. From here, we're going to take it to the lunge. The back knee drops down and then back up. Flowing with the breath here. The longer this stance, the more work and the more stretch you're getting as you move here. One more. And then we're going to straighten this back leg. Sit straight back through the heel, stretching out into the calf. The straighter this leg can be, the more the calf is going to get that stretch. Come back up to the ball of the foot, take one more lunge. And then we're going to pivot and plant the back heel. Open hips and shoulders to the long side of the mat. Let the hands float up, finding warrior two. Pressing into the outer edge of the back foot and keeping that right knee stacked over the right ankle. Inhale, lengthen the front leg. Exhaling, lunge. Inhale up. Exhale, lunge. Flowing with the breath. One more here. Nice deep lunge here. We're going to drop the back hand, revolve the front. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Don't ignore the legs. Keep a nice, long, strong stance through the legs. On the next exhale, coming to extended side angle. Try not to have any weight in this bottom arm. Lengthen out through the left. Inhale, press. Exhale, reverse. Keeping nice and long through the legs. Nice and strong through the hips. Side angle. Inhale. Exhale, reverse. Excuse me. Inhale. And exhale. One more side angle. Lengthening up. Back to our warrior two. Straightening that front leg, we're going to shift the weight forward. Reach as far forward as you can, and then shift the weight back. Reach back, keep the legs long, the hips strong, just shifting from the hips up through the torso. Straight back, straight forward. Try to keep the shoulders as level as possible. This is getting us ready for triangle here. Reaching far forward as you can, then open the heart to the side. Coming to our triangle pose here, the gaze goes up. We can press the back of the right hand into the inside of the right leg. Wiggle the fingers here, reaching tall through the gaze and the left fingertips. One more breath here in triangle. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, lunge, warrior two. Windmill the hands down. Pivot and lift the back heel. Drop down to the back knee and the right knee comes down. Exhale, sitting back to child's. From here, let's stack the fists under the forehead. Take a little breather here. Let the back of the body expand. Let the head be heavy into the fists. Maybe gently rock the head side to side. And come back to center. Walk the hands back towards the body. And I'm going to switch directions just so I don't have my back facing you. And we're going to step forward this time with the left foot. That's right. Right angles at the ankle, knee, and hip. We're going to tuck the back toes under, press into the back foot. Rising up, finding our high lunge on this side. Nice and tall through the torso, reaching down through the fingertips. Back heel is stacked over the back foot, left knee stacked over the left ankle. Take it to the lunge. Back knee drops. Inhale up, exhale. Now you can pretend you've got some weights in your hands or actually grab some weights and work biceps, triceps. Flowing with the breath. Let's take one more lunge here. And then make sure this back leg is nice and straight, heel stacked over the foot. And we're going to exhale, press straight back through the heel. Get a bit of a calf stretch. The more we can pull that kneecap up, the more calf stretch we'll get. Take it back up to the ball of the foot, and then rotate and pivot the back heel. Opening hips and shoulders to the long side of the mat. Inhale, let the arms float up. Exhale, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Let's check our alignment here in Warrior Two. Left knee is stacked over left ankle. Back leg is straight, but the knee is not locked, and we're pressing into the outer edge of the right foot. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, lunge. Flow with the breath. Inhale and exhale. One more here. Back to our Warrior Two. Nice deep long lunge here. Back hand drops, revolve the front. Inhale, lift, lengthen. And then exhale through Warrior Two to side angle. Again, no weight in this bottom arm. Strength of the torso here. Inhaling up, exhale back. Inhale, Warrior Two. Side angle, sorry. Inhale, Warrior Two, exhale, reverse. Flow with the breath. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Again. One more reverse. One more side angle. Back up here. And we're going to straighten that front leg. Again, the legs are straight, but the knees are not locked out. Make sure you can feel the difference there. We're going to shift the weight as far forward as we can, and then reach back. Again, try to keep shoulders, arms level here. Inhale, and exhale. One more. Preparing for triangle here, just getting that shift through the hips. Reach as far as you can, and then open chest to the side. Press the back of the left hand gently into the inside of the left leg. Use that pressure to open the heart here. Pull that right shoulder blade back towards the spine. Reach tall through the right hand. We can take the gaze up for a little balance challenge. One more breath here in triangle. Head comes back to neutral, lift up, lunge, and windmill the hands down to frame the foot, pivot and lift the right heel, drop down to the back knee. Untucking toes here. And we're going to take a runner stretch here, but we're going to work a little more stability and strength in this runner stretch. So we're in a long, supported low lunge here. And we're going to press into that front foot and bring the torso up. Try to keep shoulders stacked over hips, a little engagement here in the belly. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, hips go back, we straighten the left leg, and we hinge here. Working a lot of balance as we move as well. Don't lock out this left knee. Inhale, bring the torso back up. Exhale, back to the lunge. Feel the stretch in the right hip flexor. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, heart towards the knee. Inhale and exhale. We want a little bit more workout. We can also get the arms involved as well. As we lunge forward, bring the arms up overhead. and hinge. Inhale, lunge, arms up. One more time here. And we're going to let the hands come down here. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, walk to the long side of the mat. Feet are parallel here, wrists underneath shoulders. Lengthen out through the top of the head. Press the floor away here. Think about bringing the torso into almost a half lift position. So stabilizing through the back of the spine here and lengthening out through the tailbone, out through the top of the head. We're going to twist to the right, open the heart, pull the right shoulder back, the gaze comes up. Wiggle the fingers here. Feel that stretch on the inside of the left leg. Exhale, sweep the hand back down. Inhale, twist to the left, pull that left shoulder back. Gaze follows the fingertips. Exhale down. Inhale, twist right. Exhale. Inhale left. And exhale. One more each side, inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhale. And exhale. This time we're going to twist to the right. We're going to sweep the hand butt to the low back here. At this point, we don't really want to focus on where the hand is. We really want to focus on what the shoulder's doing. So we're going to take that right shoulder, we're going to roll it up, open, and back. Pull that right shoulder back. That should have deepened the stretch in the inside of the left leg. Should have opened the heart and the chest a little bit more. Now keep the shoulder where it is and sweep that arm straight up overhead. Exhale, back down to the floor. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, twist to the left. Open the heart. Exhale, sweep the hand to the low back. When we do that, the shoulder automatically rolls a little forward. Now, over-exaggerate this movement. Roll that left shoulder open and back. Strengthening the back of the body. Really pull back on that left shoulder, opening the heart. Now keep that shoulder where it is. Inhale, sweep the arm up. Exhale, back to the floor. We're going to turn the toes out slightly here. Lunge towards the right knee. And stretch the inside of the left leg. Inhale up. Exhale, lunge towards the left. Inhale. Exhale to the right. Inhale, one more time to the left. Back to center here, and we're going to walk the hands towards the right foot, pivoting on our mats. Coming to a nice long supported high lunge here, and then drop down to the back knee, untuck the toes. Pressing into the front foot, rising up here, finding the right knee directly over the right ankle, feeling the stretch here in the front of the left hip. Deep breath in, and then exhale, hips go back, right leg straightens, pull the toes up as we hinge forward here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lunge, arms come up overhead. Inhale, and exhale. Definitely some balance work happening here. And try not to lock out that right knee. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. Feel the stretch down the back of the body here. And through the front of the left hip here. We'll come back up here. We'll bring the right knee back under the hip and sit back here. Lengthening forward through the arms. Extending as much forward as we can here through the fingertips while letting the hips sink back towards the heels. Spread the fingers wide. Engage through the shoulders here as we inhale, shift the weight. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, lift the knees. Press the floor away, finding our full plank here. Nice and strong through the core. Now we're tucking the tailbone under here, trying to pull the front of the pelvis up towards the base of the rib cage in the front. Shortening those abdominal muscles. Holding here, keeping that low back nice and long. One more breath here. And then exhale, hips go up and back, down dog. Let the heels sink down, anchor down through the feet. through the hands. Fingers are spread wide. Now we're lengthening here, and we're making sure the head isn't going past the arms. Very important to keep the head between the biceps here. Even if we have the flexibility to go past this, it's usually destabilizing for the shoulders to do that. Reaching tailbone up and back, crown of the head towards the hands. On the next inhale, shift the weight forward, tuck the tailbone under. As we come forward here, finding plank once again, press the floor away. Roll onto the toes, knees drop, bear pose. Press back through the heels, hips go up and back. Down dog. Inhaling plank, exhale bear. Inhale plank, exhale down dog. Again, inhale, exhaling bear. Inhale, exhale down dog again. Bear pose, plank, and heels down. Oh, I can feel myself going past, my head going past here. Take a few breaths here in our down dog. Reach the hips up and back, and we're going to move this into a three-legged dog. The right heel lifts here. Keep the toes pointing down and squeeze that right glute. Lift that heel as high as you can. Then drop the foot behind, rotate, gaze under the right arm. Take a breath or two here, letting the weight of the leg open up the front of the right hip. Roll the hip closed, right foot comes back to the floor. Shift the weight forward, full plank. Exhale, bear. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale. Exhaling, bear. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. One more here. Inhale, bear. Plank. And down dog. Left heel lifts. Keep the toes pointing down. Lengthen out. Really lift that left heel. Then drop the foot behind. Open the hips. Gaze onto the left arm. Press the floor away here. Stay strong through the shoulders. Letting gravity open up through the hips. Roll the hip closed. Foot comes back to the floor. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bear. Plank. And down dog. One more here. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, bear. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Drop down to the knees gently here. Walk the hands back towards the body. Coming to a low kneeling here. If this is too much flexion on the knees, feel free to keep it up in high kneeling. We're just taking a little equilibrium break. Take some nice deep breaths. And then we'll sit the legs off to the side and make our way, getting prepared for some boat pose here. Just check the time. Okay. So, we're going to find our boat pose here. Feet, knees, thighs, all hip distance apart on the mat. And we're going to sit up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine here. We're going to start to recline back, finding our roughly 45 degrees here. And try not to round through the spine at all. So try to keep the shoulders down, maybe the elbows hugged in at rib cage here. Let go of the knees if you're still holding on, and find a little work here in the core. If you'd like to, you can lift a leg or two, or alternate. This works hip flexors as well as abdominals. And we'll take a little pulse here. We're going to row the boat. Go back a little deeper, come up to 45. Back a little deeper, up to 45. Flow with the breath here. If you're shaking, that means you're doing something good for your body. You're fatiguing those muscles. okay to wobble and shake. It's us getting stronger. One more here. Hands behind the thighs here, come up to vertical. Take a little abdominal break here. We're gonna do one more abdominal thing before we head down. We're gonna do a little bit of a Russian twist to work obliques as well. Now in boot camp class, Russian twists are pretty fast. In this class, we're gonna move relatively slowly with a lot of control. We can grab a block or just do hands to heart center here. So, well, this helps us remember to keep the elbows hugged in tight. We'll go back to that 45, and then we're gonna point the left shoulder down. That's where we should be moving from, is the shoulders here. Back to center, and point the right shoulder down. Inhale, center. Now, we're not just moving the shoulders here, we're actually moving from the core, from deep down by the belly button here. Twist with the exhale. Inhale, back to the 45, exhale, twist right. Try to keep the chest broad. Try to keep that back nice and long. Lots of stuff working here. One more to each side. Twist left. Inhale, twist right. Back to center. Lose the block. Come back up to vertical. We're going to take soles of the feet together. Let the knees drop open. Bring the heart forward here. We're finding a cobbler's pose, seated cobbler's pose. So if we feel that we're rounding through that low back a little too much, rotate the thighs inward a little bit here. Get the glutes out of the way. We can usually sit a little taller when we do that. Nice and tall here. Let's stretch out the neck. So we're here in our cobbler's pose, not holding on, but using a little bit of strength in the belly here to stay nice and tall. And we're just going to drop right ear to right shoulder. Take a full breath here. Inhale up, left ear to left shoulder. Another full breath. Back to center. A little rotation in the neck with the gaze level. Look over the right shoulder. Inhale, exhale over the left. Inhale, exhale. One more to the left. And the last pose here, the last neck movement here is just forward and back. But especially if we have any disc issues in the back, we want to be careful not to just drop the head back. So the trick to keeping enough space in the vertebra in the neck here is to stick the chin forward first, then lift. Gently bring the chin back to neutral, the head back to neutral, and then again, chin sticks forward and drop straight down. This gives a little bit more space in the vertebra in the neck here and prevents sort of compression into the discs if that's an issue in your spine. So we're back up to neutral here. We'll bring the knees together. Make our way down onto our backs. And we'll take one last little strength pose here. Just a little flowing bridge. The heels nice and close to the glutes. And we want to keep knees and thighs parallel with one another, hip distance apart. A nice way to do that is just tuck a block between the thighs here on its skinniest side. And then as we lift the hips, we have to squeeze that block to hold on to it. And that's going to engage the right muscles and keep the alignment in a safe position. So the palms face down. Anchor down through the backs of the arms, anchor down through the feet, press into the feet, lift the hips, give that block a little squeeze. Slowly lower back down. Inhale, press and lift. And lower. One more time, press and lift. And lower. And we're going to press and lift and hold up here in our bridge pose. We want to make sure that there's no pressure into the neck. So just give that head a little wobble. Make sure the neck is soft. We're not pressing into the neck at all. Pressing into the back of the feet. the soles of the feet. We're strengthening hamstrings, glutes, low back, that whole back chain. Gently trying to open the front of the body here. If we want to open the chest a little bit more, we can walk the shoulders underneath. Maybe clasp hands under the glutes here. Press hips a little higher, lift the heart a little higher. Keep that squeeze on that block. That's going to keep everything activated the way we need it activated, and everything aligned safely. One more breath here. Walk those shoulders back out, and then as slowly as possible, one vertebra at a time, come back to the floor. We can lose that block. We're going to lengthen through the left leg here. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, sweep them down to our sides and pull the right knee into the chest. Give it a little hug. Inhale, lengthen the right leg. Sweep arms back overhead. Exhale, left knee comes into the chest. A little hug. Inhale. Exhale, right knee comes in. One more time on the left. Inhale. And exhale. And place the left foot down, bending the right knee as well. And we're going to walk the feet nice and wide apart. Make sure we're nice and aligned, nice and long through the spine here. Let's take those arms to cactus arms or goalpost arms. So the elbows and shoulders bent at 90 degrees. And maybe the heels on the edge of the mat with the toes angled off. Take a moment here, let the body get heavy. Start to relax all the muscles we just worked. Take a deep breath in. On this exhale, let the knees drop slowly to the right, rolling onto the edges of the feet, and let the head gently turn left. Inhale, slowly come back to center. Exhaling, knees drop to the left, head turns right. Inhale. And exhale back to the first side. Inhale. Exhaling, second side. One more to each side here. This time as the knees drop right, press a little bit into that left foot, lifting the left hip a little higher. Feel that stretch in the front of the left hip here. Maybe take a full breath here. And then gently back to neutral. Knees drop left. Press gently into the right foot, lifting that right hip up, deepening the stretch through the front of the right hip. Nice complete breath here all the way deep into the belly. And back to center. Take a moment and just rock the pelvis forward and back here. So tuck the tailbone under and then tip the pelvis forward. Again, tuck the tailbone under, and we're pressing the mid-back, the waist into the floor. And then we tip the pelvis forward, lifting the waist, getting as much of the tailbone on the floor as possible. Just a couple more times here, a little tuck and a tilt. One more time, both directions. And then bring that pelvis sort of back to neutral, halfway between the tuck and the tilt. And we're just going to press the right side of the sacrum, the right side of the low back into the floor. Let the left side pick up a little bit. Inhale back to center, press the left side of the sacrum into the floor. It's a subtle movement here. We're really just pressing down and mobilizing through SI joint, through the low back, that whole sacral iliac connection there, the connection between the hips and the spine. Just a little more side to side, loosening things up, checking in, and we'll come back to center here. Take a moment here, breathing. Just noticing if there's any last stretches or movements you'd like to do. Maybe taking a little supine pigeon here. just checking it out on both sides. Any last poses your body's looking for here. And then we'll make our way back down to our mats. We'll go ahead and we'll set up for Shavasana. Now you have the luxury to do as long a Shavasana as you like. So I'm just going to set you up for it. So we can stay here in our constructive rest pose. We can do legs up the wall to do a gentle inversion, or legs up the fireplace, as the case may be. We can do full corpse pose here with the legs and arms long. Lots of good options for Shavasana, but definitely find your Shavasana using any of the props that you have around. A bolster under the knees is always something to try. And then you can also do a seated meditation. Shavasana doesn't have to look the same way for everybody. So we'll go ahead and we'll find whatever pose we'd like for Shavasana and begin to let go. Releasing the weight to the floor. Surrendering, knowing that we are safe, we are supported, we are surrounded by ways to take care of ourselves and to take care of others. So enjoy your Shavasana today. You deserved it. You always deserve it. And when you're done with Shavasana, namaste.